Emma walked through the deserted hallway, her footsteps echoing loudly in the oppressive quiet. The hairs on the back of her neck stood up as she felt a chill pass through her, as if someone or something was watching her.
This place gives me the creeps,
Emma muttered to herself, pausing to glance behind her. The shadows seemed to shift and dance, though no one was there. She shook her head, trying to dispel her growing unease. Emma pushed open the heavy library doors, the creak echoing ominously. Her eyes scanned the room, landing on a dusty old tome lying open on a table. The book seemed to call to her, its pages filled with faded ink and arcane symbols.
What is this?
Emma whispered, reaching out to trace the strange markings with her fingers. A chill ran through her, and she felt an inexplicable urge to uncover the secrets hidden within. As Emma studied the book, she became aware of a cold breeze swirling around her, carrying with it faint whispers that seemed to emanate from the walls. She looked up, her heart pounding, and gasped as ghostly figures materialized around her, their expressions a mixture of sorrow and anger.
Who are you?
Emma asked, her voice trembling. The spirits remained silent, but she felt their anguish deep within her bones. Emma found herself drawn to the auditorium, the whispers guiding her steps. The room was filled with an unnatural darkness, the shadows pulling like ink. She stood on the stage, facing the spirits now gathered before her, their eyes glowing with a ghostly light.
What do you want from me?
Emma demanded, her voice echoing through the empty space. The spirits shifted, their forms flickering like candle flames. The spirits began to speak in unison, their voices a haunting melody that filled the auditorium. They told of a tragic event that had bound them to the school, a terrible accident that had claimed their lives and left their souls unrested. Emma listened intently, her heart aching for the lost spirits. She realized that they were not here to harm her, but to seek closure and justice for the wrongs they had suffered.
I will help you,
Emma promised, determination in her eyes. I will uncover the truth and ensure that you can finally rest. With the first light of dawn streaming through the auditorium windows, the spirits began to fade, their faces serene and grateful. Emma watched them go, a sense of fulfillment washing over her. As she left the school, Emma knew that she would honor her promise to the spirits, ensuring that their story would not be forgotten. The haunting had ended, and with it, a new chapter began for Emma, one where she would no longer be afraid of the dark.
Stood at the crumbling stone steps, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement.
This is it,
She whispered to herself, clutching her flashlight tightly. The rumors had always intrigued her, a haunted house where whispers of the past lingered and secrets lay buried beneath layers of dust and neglect. The grand foyer stood as a testament to a bygone era, its grandeur now faded. A grand staircase spiraled upwards, its banister covered in grime. Ella felt a sudden draft and shivered, though the air was still.
Hello?
She called out, her voice barely more than a whisper, swallowed by the emptiness. The whispers seemed to dance around her, elusive and haunting. Ella's breathing quickened, her eyes darting around for the source.
Who are you?
She asked, her voice trembling.
What do you want?
The whispers responded with a surge of mournful cries, weaving tales of sorrow and despair. Ella approached the portrait cautiously, her flashlight beam revealing the faces of the mansion's last inhabitants.
So this is you,
She murmured, tracing the outline of the figures with her gaze. The whispers intensified, as if urging her to understand the family's tragic fate. Ella opened the diary with trembling hands, the words revealing a tale of betrayal and loss. Each page turned unearthed another layer of the family's sorrow.
They never left.
She realized, the whispers now a mournful chorus, echoing their eternal lament. The air grew colder, and the walls seemed to close in on her. Ella bolted back through the corridors, the whispers now a frantic warning.
Get out!
They cried. She stumbled out into the night, the mansion's secrets and spirits left to linger in the shadows.
Parked her car along the curb, her eyes tracing the jagged silhouette of the mansion against the twilight sky. She hesitated for a moment, the tales of hauntings echoing in her mind, before grabbing her equipment from the back seat. As a seasoned paranormal investigator, she had heard many stories, but rarely did they hold any truth. Yet something about this place felt different, as if the air itself carried secrets waiting to be uncovered. Lila pushed open the rusted gate, its creak echoing ominously in the stillness. She approached the front door, her flashlight beam dancing over the peeling paint and tarnished brass knocker.
Let's see what you got.
She murmured, stepping inside. The air was thick with the scent of dust and decay, yet beneath it lingered something else, something alive. Lila set up her equipment, her movements precise and practiced. As she surveyed the room, a chill swept over her, raising goosebumps on her arms.
Is anyone here?
She called out, her voice barely a whisper in the cavernous space. The air grew colder, and she felt an unseen gaze upon her, as if the house itself were watching. Curiosity piqued, Lila followed the stairs down, each step echoing in the silence. The basement was a labyrinth of shadows, cluttered with the detritus of past lives. Her flashlight flickered, and for a moment, she thought she saw a figure at the edge of her vision, an impression of a woman in a tattered dress.
Show yourself.
Lila demanded, her voice steady despite the fear coiling in her stomach. The figure stepped forward, its eyes meeting Lila's with a pleading gaze. Understanding dawned upon her, and she realized that the spirit was trapped, bound by unfinished business.
You need help.
Lila whispered, her heart aching for the lost soul. Lila emerged from the mansion, the spirit's story etched into her heart. She had learned that the past, no matter how deeply buried, could never truly be forgotten. As she drove away, the mansion stood silent once more, but she knew its secrets had been laid to rest, at least for now.
Goodbye.
She whispered, a promise to return if ever the spirits called again.